crush her with the waving claw. From the shadows of 2015, rising through the storm, crypto warrior Pablo Crow in his deadliest form. Markets bleeding, bulls are charging, bears run for their lives. He's the king of the chaos. Watch the millionaires arrive. Feel the fire, hear the roar. Speaker shatter, hit the floor. Alpha dropping, hype exploding. No escaping, we're reloading. Pablo Crow. Heavy rocking crypto thunder, blowing up your mind. Since 2015, forging legends, leaving weak behind. 1,000 millionaires, we're marching to the moon. Smash that sub, turn it up, let's fucking go! Smash that sub. Adrenaline pumping, rifts collide with the charts. A market shaking alpha, tearing dollars apart. Metal heads and moon boys, united in the fight. Pablo's on the mission, gonna own the night. Crank it to 11, feel the energy surge. No more waiting, time to purge. Subscribe now, join the madness. Pure unfiltered badass. Grab the floor. Heavy rockin' crypto thunder, blowing up your mind. Since 2015, forging legends, leaving weak behind. 1,000 millionaires, we're marching to the moon. Smash that bell. Smash that bell. Grab the
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Pablo Crow, and like always, super bullish on crypto. Crypto set me free. Now, today we're gonna have a very educational night. Obviously, we'll still have a little bit of fun, but the whole point of tonight is to be more educational and talk more about the ecosystem that we're building, the future of Memelinked, the future of the market, the future of everything. Right now, we're in a very special time in the market. The time that we're in right now is it's that time in the market where you can make some serious money. Okay, I'm gonna break it down to you how or why or what's going on in the market. You might not quite understand what's happening. On the outside, you might be a little scared of what's been happening. With the war, with Bitcoin dropping from $128,000 to what it is today. All this stuff, we're gonna discuss a lot about it today because these are the opportunities in life that really just change success, whether you win or where you lose for the next 4 or 5 years, right? I've been part of many cycles. I've been in the market since 2015. I've seen a lot of green. I've seen a lot of red. I have made a lot of money. I have lost a lot of money. But most importantly, I have experience. Now, experience is experience. It's so valuable. And it's something that you can teach upcoming people to save them a lot of time and a lot of headaches and a lot of situations where they put themselves in the wrong, community, or they put themselves in the wrong investment. There's multiple things that you really have to watch out for. Number one is you need to understand who is behind whatever you're investing. That's number one. Now, can this person, take me where I want to go? Does this person have the results I want? Does this person have the experience that I need from somebody I want to follow or I want to invest into. All those things are crucial. That's number one. Number two is a community. Like, does it make sense? Is it a long-term community? Is it a short-term community? Is it a community full of gamblers, or is it a community full of investors? There's different levels to a community, right? That's very crucial. And number three is the product. um what is the point of the coin? What is the point of the investment? What is the point of you putting your money into something, right? You got to have those three things. Those three things matter in every investment that you do. um Coming up myself back in 2015, when I bought my first Bitcoin at $500, I bought it blindly. I didn't really knew who Satoshi was, or nobody still knows who Satoshi is. But what I really got sold on was the white paper, the information that came with Bitcoin, the information, the potential of what it can't be. That's why I bought it. I didn't really need to know more than just data. Data is enough. I knew that the financial system wouldn't stay the way it is for forever. Um, I'm I've been alive long enough to witness people going from checks at the grocery store to debit cards, today to Apple Pay. Those are financial systems that are happening right now. If I want to transfer $1 million from the United States down to my family in Mexico, or friends in Japan, I have to do what is called a wire transfer. Now, $1 million would raise so many red flags through the banking system. Flags everywhere. The FBI would get involved. The government. It would just be chaos trying to send $1 million from point A to point B. Now, with crypto, I can send somebody 20 Bitcoins like that. I can send somebody 100 Ethereums like that. 1,000 Solanas like that. That's why I'm a huge believer that cryptocurrency is the future, because the way and how fast money can go from point A to point B. That's what matters. We're in a world where speed is the most important thing. Do you have fast internet? Do you have a fast cell phone? Do you have a fast download? Do you have a fast way to send money from point A to point B? Right? So we got to take a look at the market real quick. As you guys can see, Bitcoin is down to $68,000. Now, we talked about this back in October, which was exactly 3 months ago. We talk about it. We're like, look, man, I feel like we're getting close to the top. I publicly told people that I was gonna, exit my position out of Bitcoin. People made fun of me. They thought I was crazy, but I did it publicly. People watched it on my show. I even had a UFC fighter at the time when I brought it up, and I was like, look, Ian, I already sold all my Bitcoin. We were sitting around 110, 118,000 at the time. And I told him, look, I understand the excitement. I understand that people think that this is a cycle that will never stop. But personally, I still believe that mass adoption wasn't there. That wasn't there. So, I decided to follow the 4-year cycle versus jumping on a fake dream that just wasn't there yet. So here we are. It was a great decision. I'm happy it was. Now, what's going to happen for this year of 2026, you're going to find the bottom of crypto, the bottom this year, whether it's in March or whether it's in November. But the bottom will be in 2026. Okay. We don't know exactly what month it will be. We don't know what's going to make it the bottom. 59,000 could have been the bottom. We don't know, but we do know that this year is the bottom. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to find the bottom, just like we found it back in 2022, and then how we found it back in previous years. What happens when you tend to find the bottom? Bitcoin trades sideways for months. Okay. So if the bottom was 59,000, you'll see Bitcoin 59,000, 65,000, 59,000, 65,000 for months. Okay. So what it does is you have that dramatic fall, which is this one right here, this dramatic fall. And as you can see, the fall in February, which was a month ago, we already pretty much been trading sideways. If we go to a month, you can kind of see the sideways action. Okay. Now, what we need to see, we need to see sideways action for 3 to 4 months. Now, when we see sideways action for 3 to 4 months, that means that we're really close to the bottom of Bitcoin. And when that happens, then that's when you start your accumulation back in the market. That's when you start, stacking blue chips. Now, personally, I wouldn't mess with any of this stuff right now because you have the opportunity to make a lot of money doing something else before the market decides to find its bottom, and you can go back to Bitcoin or go back to Ethereum if you want. But right now, the money is going to be made in microcaps for the next 3 to 6 months. Microcaps are going to really do some good numbers, right? So that's something to keep in mind. I do expect to see the bottom in 2026. Now, personally, I think the bottom is a little lower. But even if it is, it's not going to last. It would just drop and bounce instantly. It wouldn't last very long. So accumulation, I would say I would start somewhere in June, July accumulation. If I were to buy Bitcoin again, which I plan to buy probably about 20 to 50 Bitcoins this cycle. But anyways, enough of the market. Let's talk about what we're really here. But before we jump on that, let's take a moment and enjoy a little bit of monkey action.
Green candles rise, a vibrant hue, breaking barriers old and new. Decentralized, a fearless stand, power shifts across the land. From ashes rise a phoenix bright, burning through the darkest night. Digital gold, a modern gleam, living the crypto dream. Trend in the air, electric night, crypto pop, taking flight, diamond.
Thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Guys, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as we have constant updates of the market and we have constant updates of Memelinked social media in our entire ecosystem. So make sure that you guys, subscribe to that. Also, if you do not follow me on X, you should add that to your to-do list. At Pablo_CRO. Okay. So make sure that you guys follow me there. I usually tweet a lot more than I'm live on YouTube. I'm tweeting 3 to 4 times a day on average. On YouTube, I'm live once, maybe every couple of weeks. Not very often on Twitter, on YouTube. YouTube is not what it used to be. It definitely lost a lot of its volume that used to be on YouTube. So we're not here as much. But let's jump straight to it, man. Let's talk about Memelinked, okay? Because Memelinked is one of those rare opportunities that happen every 10 years, okay? The last opportunity that came out like this was TikTok. And before TikTok, it was something like Apple or Tesla or before that, maybe even Google and the internet. These opportunities don't come very often. Now, what's really important about Memelinked, what we're going to do is we're going to play this video, but I'm actually going to play it on YouTube itself. So let me go back there and then we'll play it here. That way we can watch the whole thing in the bigger picture. Wait a minute. How do we share this? Oh, I can't right now, Jimmy. Sorry. But let me add this other page, and we're gonna watch this video. Okay, we're gonna watch this video. Let me blow it up right here. Let's watch it.
Let me introduce you to Memelinked, an upcoming social media platform. Set to compete with Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram. By July 2026, the app will be available on Apple and Android. Expect 50,000 to 100,000 users in the first month. Our projection is 10 million users by 2027 and 1 billion by 2030. Today, you have an opportunity to become an early investor. Ask for a referral link, connect a crypto wallet, and invest in Memelinked. Let me in.
Now let's talk about this video a little bit. Okay, so we got a social media that's coming, right? We plan to compete with the big ones. We plan to compete with the big ones because we're bringing something to the table that these guys don't have, which is the mass adoption of cryptocurrency. Now, keep in mind that all these social medias were created before crypto became crypto today, right? So for them to integrate crypto, they basically gotta reverse engineer everything, and they're gonna just be using third parties. They're gonna be using APIs from other corporations, and it's just gonna be a bit complex, okay? And then we come in and we build our whole entire structure on top of crypto. So everything that we will do is built on top of crypto, right? And that is going to be the edge that we're going to have against these giants. Now, we're going to talk about how it is to even control 10% of their value, 1% of their value. We're going to talk about that. Just 1% of Facebook can make everybody that's watching this video right now wealthy, all of you guys. And we're going to talk about that and how that plays an effect. So we are going to be launching on the App Store on both Apple and Android on July. Okay, we haven't given exact day on July, but we are going to be getting on the App Store in July. Okay, we have approximately 30 or 40 updates left to do between now and I would say June. And then in June is when we're going to start the applications to go into Apple and go into Android. Now, I already have games on Apple and Android. I already have my Apple license and my Android license. We already got it all taken care of. So getting another application on these app stores it won't be difficult. Okay. So that's something to discuss there. And then another thing, this is kind of the trajectory that we're kind of seeing. Okay. So for example, let's stop right here. We're aiming for 1 billion users by 2030. Okay. By 2030. That's what we're aiming for. 1 billion users by 2030. So if we launch in 2026, we're giving ourselves about 4 years to hit that target. Now, if we come short, we probably won't really care that much because we'll be in the hundreds of millions. First is the launch in July, where we expect between 50 to 100,000 downloads or users. And then by the end of the year, which is the end of 2026, we're aiming for 1 million users, right? Now, when you have an application that has 1 million users, things are really going to get very exciting. They're going to get very exciting because now you have 1 million users. With 1 million users, 10% of that can get verification marks. 10% of that can use some of our marketing tools, some of our services. Just 10% of 1 million, it's 100,000 people. Let's say we have 100,000 people that are verified on Memelinked. Let's say their verification, their check mark, the basic one, let's say it's like $10, $12 a month, something like that. We're talking at $10 times 100,000. That's a lot of money. That's money that's going into the ecosystem, that's flopping in, and when we're utilizing that money to raise the value of our coin. See what I'm saying? And as 2027 rolls in, 2028, things start to get really, really exciting. So a lot of you guys that are in crypto, um, you guys tend to want fast money, and you tend to lose fast money as well. So you pretty much get nowhere, right? You get nowhere. You go from A to B and then back to A and then back to B. And then 5, 6 years later, you're still at A to B. You see what I'm saying? With this strategy that we have here with Memelinked, we have the potential to, set a lot of people wealthy, set a lot of people free from their 9 to 5s, from their everyday struggle. Imagine yourself if you would have been an investor back when Facebook came out, or back when Instagram or TikTok came out, and you were part of that beginning of that future. The life that you would have today, it would not be the same life. You would be a very wealthy person. You would do very, very well in life. So let's talk about this. This is a website that we created for marketing purposes. You have the video that I just showed you. It's called mk10years.com. And right here you have what is called the life price. This is what the price per token, 8.5 cents right now. And then it goes through every page. July launch, what we expect between 2 to 8 million. And these numbers right here, they're not the value of the coin, they're the value of the company that has the coin. Does that make sense? So the crypto coins, they tend to have what is called a diluted market cap. A diluted market cap is, for example, if a company's worth $10 million, the diluted market cap would be something like 30 million. You see what I'm saying? So crypto and fiat, they have that difference. You have diluted market cap and true value of liquid money. So these numbers right here are based on company, and they're based on what artificial intelligence believes that Memelinked is going to do in the next 10 years. This is not something that myself or my team put together. All these images, all this writing, it was built by AI to kind of give us a broadcast of the next 10 years and what it could be. Now, it's doing a lot of things. It's keeping in consideration the value of the dollar. It's keeping in consideration the value of crypto. It's keeping in consideration inflation. It's keeping in consideration a lot of things that us regular people would not really think about. So as we go through these pages, I want you to understand that it's a much bigger thing than we ourselves as human beings kind of believe, right? So 2 to 8 million on the first, this year, the market value of the company. By 2026 to 2027, it's broadcast to go to 15 to 50 million dollars. By 28, 180 million to 420 million. By 2029, that's when we cross that first billion. Okay, the first billion of the value of the company. Okay, and obviously this is potential revenue based on artificial intelligence. Okay, this is what AI thinks of us. Next page, 2030, 2.8 billion to 5.4 billion, and then it just goes from there. 2032, 712 billion. 2033, 14 to 22 billion. 25 to 38 billion, 45 to 75 billion. And then at the peak of our cycle in 10 years, it believes that we can go to $100 billion a company. Okay. Now, if the company were to do this, let's say we were to do these crazy numbers and we got it done, that means that the coin itself will probably be worth somewhere around 500 billion roughly in market cap, the coin itself. So we'll talk more about, comparing it to other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. So for example, Facebook in 2020 was doing 86 billion a year. Okay. By 2025 is now, last year it did $200 billion in 1 year. Now, if we were to do 1% of Facebook, that would be 2 billion a year. If we were to do 10% of Facebook, that would be $20 billion per year. Okay. So these numbers are very realistic. We believe that we can easily do 1% of Facebook. Like that shouldn't be a hard thing to do. 10% of Facebook is even doable. It's not unrealistic. Okay. Now we look at the other ones. Instagram, at 2020, it was worth 22 billion a year. Now today is worth between 67 and 84 billion dollars per year. Okay. That's almost a 4x from 2020 to 2025. A 4x. And we're talking about Instagram. TikTok in 2020, it was doing 2.6 billion and it did a 10 to 12x. You see that 2.6 billion to 23 to 33 billion last year. Now face X, formerly Twitter, is kind of being consistent. Okay, if you really think about X wasn't really that popular ever. I mean, now with Elon taking over and Grok and a few updates, it's starting to get a little bit more exciting. But X is not very young generation friendly. Okay, most people would go to X to get their news, but now it's just kind of like it's a little blend of news and crypto and people that don't like this people and then just back and forth fighting. So it doesn't tend to have the type of revenue that Instagram has or TikTok because those two social medias are targeting more the younger generation. So targeting the younger generation is very important. It's very, very important. And that's something that us at Memelinked, we strongly believe that it's important to attract the younger generation. Very important. It's good to get the older generation happy, but it's also important to attract the younger generation. So in order to do that, you have to become a hybrid of what exists today. And that's what we're doing with Memelinked. Now we go down, you can kind of read a little bit of my back history. If you guys don't know who I am. And then right here where it says the founder's website, if you click on it, it actually takes you to my website, which is right here, pablocrow.com. And you can kind of learn more about me, the creator. Okay. On pablocrow.com, it's just all about my information. Talks about my entire ecosystem that I'm building. AI, gaming, the Normie tool. These are games right here that we have already on the App Store. Kishi Bros, you can download it on Apple. You can download it on Google Play. Let's see. Another one, Monkey Kong Racing. Same thing. Download it on Apple. Download it on Google. These games are also going to be having major updates that are going to bring us some revenue. These games are going to have a marketplace. They're going to have a marketplace where people can spend, real money. Imagine you get 1 million people to spend $1, you made $1 million. You get 1 million people to spend $10, you made $10 million, right? So having a couple of games in the App Store that are attached to our ecosystem are very, very important to create revenue. Because at the end of the day, it's all about revenue. If you can master making constant revenue, you can take a token from nothing to $1 trillion because money just keeps coming in, infinite amounts of money, right? So that's that. Now let's talk a little bit. I even posted some pictures of, when I was a welder because I come from a welding background. I was a blue collar worker for 15 years and I was a business owner of a welding company that was generating over $1 million with about, 10 to 20 employees. So I have done the enterprise lifestyle corporation of being a traditional business owner, right? As well as an employee myself. So that right there kind of talks about my experience in leadership training, finances, and all kinds of stuff through network marketing. And then I went into, traveling, meeting some people, going to NASDAQ, doing things. And obviously most important, family. I'm a family man. I got children, I got kids, I got daughters, I got sons, I got a wife. All that stuff is what drives me, right? Talks about, we got some articles that people talk about, early retirement, NASDAQ information, Benzinga coverage of previous projects, what the world thinks of me, back in 2022, 2023. These are articles that you can go through and kind of see what's going on. We got some promo videos of Kishi Bros, interviews on NASDAQ and other places like Goshtia News Network. We talk about earning percentages and all this stuff. So you guys can go through all this stuff to kind of get to know the creator of Memelink, right? We build this whole thing for you. So first you have the what is it, which we created a whole marketing system for you. The what is it? What is it? Well, it's a social media powered by cryptocurrency. That's what it is. And that's what this website, the 10-year mk10years.com is for, is to teach people the what is it, right? The Pablo Crow is to teach them about the creator, because in crypto, there's a lot of things that happen in crypto. In crypto, most developers, they hide behind a PFP. You don't know who they are. I mean, ownership in that PFP can change between 5, 20 people, and you don't even know if you're talking to the same guy that you talked to a week ago, a month ago. So being a docs developer that's building in front of your eyes as we speak, and you see the products developing in real time, it creates that, okay, I see what's happening here. I see the money being invested. It makes sense for my money to also be part of this. So it creates that balance of trust versus a person that hides behind a PFP and nobody knows who he really is. So, yeah. Anyways, now we're going to talk about the Normie tool. Okay. The Normie tool is a tool to help normies, regular people, we call them normies, regular people, become an investor on our social media. Now, to get to the Normie tool, you need to have a friend to send you a referral link. Okay. If you don't have a referral link, then you can come to normietool.com and just use a service without a referral link. But I would strongly advise that you have a referral link. Okay. I strongly advise. So I'm going to show you how to create a referral link real quick. Let me close some of these windows right here. If you let's do it in the phone version. Okay. Okay. If you have it on your phone, see how it changes the style. If you have it on your phone, you have these 4 buttons at the bottom. Okay. You have trades, leadership, rewards. If you click on rewards, you're going to generate this by connecting your wallet, and then you generate this link that you can send to friends, or you can just send them the code and they go to normietool.com and they manually punch in this code. But I prefer if you send them the link. Okay. You send them the link, they come in, they accept that you invited them, and now they're linked up to you. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, after they're linked up to you, we're talking to people that have never bought crypto before. We're talking to regular people. These people have never, ever bought crypto before. Memelink is going to be their first investment. Okay. So let me walk you through it. After you're here, you connect the wallet. So make sure that your friend that you're inviting, make sure that they download a MetaMask wallet, or they download a Ethereum wallet or Token Pocket, whichever one of those 3 they like. I wouldn't mess with on the Normie tool. You can't use Phantom, and there's a few others that you can't use. So try to stick with those 3 generic ones: MetaMask, Ethereum wallet, and Token Pocket. Okay, Trust Wallet works too, but I prefer those 3. Now, after they connected their wallet, after your friend connected their wallet, and this is for you as well, you can do this too. You come here, you click on your wallet, and this pops up. This right here, you see this fun button, fun wallet. You click on it, and then you have these 2 things. You can receive crypto, which it can be, you can send crypto from your PayPal, from your Venmo, from your Cash App, from your Coinbase account, your crypto.com account, whichever one you want to do, you can receive crypto. Okay. But most important, if you don't have anything of what I just said, you can also click buy crypto. Now, when you click buy crypto, it's going to pop this mail.io window, which is, what we integrated to the system. You click on it, and now let me show you what it looks like on the other side. Let me close this because it has a separate window. Let me show you. I will show you. Stop screen. Yeah, let me share this one. Where is it? Right here. Okay, let me show you what it looks like on the inside. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the inside. Now, it's really cool that we're still connected to the Normie tool. Okay, we're connected to the Normie tool, which is super cool. So what it does, it automatically transfers your receiving wallet. So you don't really have to move your address around or nothing. You're connected to the Normie tool. So it transfers your wallet automatically into the receiving address. And what you do is you decide, okay, I want to buy $1,000, but you got to make sure that you receive Ethereum because Memelinked is on Ethereum. Okay. So you receive Ethereum. It tells you you're going to get 0.49 Ethereums. And then you decide down here what you want to do. You can click credit card. You can do ACH, Apple Pay, some of these providers, Coinbase, Global Banking, Google Pay, PayPal, Venmo. You have all these other options of ways to pay. But let's keep it simple. Credit card, right? After you click the credit card, you click buy. And this window is going to pop out for you. It's going to tell you, okay, you're buying $1,000 with a credit card. And then right here, what you do, all you have to do now from here is, and you guys should do this, just follow the steps, okay? I'm doing it really slow, but it takes me an average of like 3 to 5 minutes at most to get this all situated, okay? But basically what happens is after you connect either your Gmail or your Apple, the system, the topper system will remember your Gmail forever. And what it's gonna do is gonna tell you, okay, now give me a picture of the front of your ID and the back of your ID, and it's gonna scan your face. And once it's done scanning your face and everything is approved, then the buy gets submitted, and within 3 to 5 minutes, the money is back in your wallet, and now you can become an investor. So by the time you click the referral link, to the time you connect, your wallet, to the time you follow the process to buy crypto with your debit card or your Apple Pay or whatever, it should take you an average of 5 minutes at most. Okay. Obviously, you the first time is going to be a little slow because you're going through the steps little by little. But once you do the steps, the second time we just boom. You don't even have to KYC the second time, which is scan your face or anything, because it remembers your Gmail and it remembers everything. So it automatically, you just go in there, click buy, and boom, 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 you buy. And you constantly just keep buying Ethereum that way. And what's really cool is after you buy with your Ethereum, you just go back, you just go back to the Normie tool, and then you can swap. Boom. Okay, so we're back here. And now what's going to happen is your ETH will pop up right here at your balance, and then you just click buy, and you're there. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. This whole system can go from your bank to becoming an investor in Memelinked, okay, without needing a centralized exchange, without needing a Coinbase, without needing a Robinhood, without needing any of those platforms. You can literally buy up to $2,500 a day on our system. So super bullish, right? Super, super bullish. 300 MK elites. Ask your coin developer to explain step by step how their project will change your life, like Pablo is doing. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's how you become an investor in Memelinked. You get a referral. Okay, let's go through the steps again. You get a referral from your friend, a referral, okay, from Normie tool, a referral. If you don't have a friend that's already invested, then you just go to the Normie tool and you create a referral for your friends and your family. But you start with a referral, and then you make sure that you have a wallet, preferably MetaMask, Token Pocket, or Syrian wallet, okay? Preferably those 3 wallets. After you have the wallet, you connect your wallet, and now you go through the process of buying crypto with your debit card, Apple Pay for the very first time. You go through the steps, take your time, don't rush it. Make sure that you're clicking a button at a time. connect your Gmail, scan your face, scan your ID, and you buy crypto for the first time. And once you buy crypto for the first time with Topper, um, then you don't ever have to KYC again. You can come back tomorrow and buy another 2,500, another 1,000. Come back on Friday, buy another 1,000, whatever. Just make sure that you're accumulating Ethereum so you can flip it for Memelinked, because we are built on the Ethereum network. So in order to buy Memelinked, you need to buy Ethereum. Now, all this stuff may sound like it's hard or it's a long process because I'm talking about it so slow and taking my time. But I just want to make sure that you understand the steps. Once you do it yourself, 5 minutes. An average of 3 minutes after that, the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, three to 5 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. And that's how you get involved in Memelinked. Okay. So now that you understand, and the Normie tool, you're going to have certain features. Okay. You're going to have access to a chart that tells you the token price, how it's doing, how it's been doing in the last. We can change it here. You can get a bigger screen if you want. You can see prices back then, prices here, prices there. And if you look at this, this is very consistent. This is really good. This is really, really good. When you see a lot of consistency like this, like we were talking at the beginning of the video, when you see this consistency, that's where you need to accumulate. That's where you need to buy. Consistency is key. Okay. If you scroll down, you can see the buys and sells. And then down here, you're going to be able to see your code and your referral rewards. Now, what's really cool about this is whoever refers you will make 4% of every transaction that you ever do. And whoever you refer, you will make 4% of every transaction they do. So you can also have that constant money coming into your wallet directly every time one of your friends or family or somebody is, investing in Memelinked. You're collecting 4% of every transaction. So if your friend comes in and buys $10,000, you collect 4% of $10,000. Isn't that amazing? So that's how it works. Now your friend makes $100,000 or $1 million, and then they come and sell. Guess what? You collect 4% of $1 million. That's the beautiful and the power of our referral system that we manually created for you guys to spread the word. Now, what's super bullish about that is that once your referral system is done, you don't even have to be connected or active or nothing. The minute that your friend connects to your referral link, they're connected forever. So you could be in the Bahamas on vacation, and all of a sudden you're gonna get a notification, ding, ding, ding. You're gonna look and you're gonna see, oh, grandma bought, oh, my cousin bought, oh, my friend from high school bought, oh, my friend from school bought, and blah 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 blah. You're on vacation and you're getting paid because you took the time to promote a social media that is going to revolutionize the world. Not only did you become an early investor, but now you're making money because you decided to share the information with friends and family and coworkers and so on and so on. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to master our system. You need to understand how our system works. Once you understand how our system works, then you duplicate it. And when you duplicate it, doesn't matter who's duplicating, is raising the value of the coin, because my friend Frank brought 1,000 people. My friend Jimmy bought another 1,000 people. I brought 1,000 people. You brought 20 people. And all these people are investors of one coin, just one. The same coin, the MK coin, the Memelinked coin, just one coin. Doesn't matter who brings who. We all bring them to the same investment, the social media. Super cool, right? Now let's jump over into the actual social media. But before we jump on, let's say hi to the chat real quick. Let's say hi. Let's say hi to some buddies here. What is going on, Poe? What is going on? What is going on, Frank? What's going on? We got Knox in the house. Mogo, thanks for the super chat. Oh man, we got friends. With Memelinked, you have the opportunity to change your life. I agree. 300 MK. Yes. Ask your coin developer to explain step by step how their project will change your life, like Pablo is doing. Thank you for that. We put a lot of work into this. A lot of work, a lot of money. a lot of time. But for example, like I'm on a mission to become a billionaire. And by my I becoming a billionaire, that means that many of you guys became multi-millionaires, right? And that's the win-win situation that we're going to have. Some of you guys are gonna make enough money for yourself, for your children's children. The potential here is incredible. Okay. So now let's talk about the actual social media. So we talk about the what is it? We talk about who's behind the project. We talk about how can I get involved? And now let's talk about the actual product and everything that we're doing. You guys saw that I'm building games. You guys can download the games. You guys can play around with other stuff that we built. But at the end of the day, the social media is everything. With the social media, our games will explode, our marketing campaigns will explode, everything will explode around the social media. So at the end of the day, this is the key to heaven. This is the key to Bahala. This is the key. So we're going to talk about the actual social media. So if you go to memelinked.com, you'll land at this page, right? And you're like, what is going on? Let me start. You can connect your Gmail right here and instantly enter. But I want to take the time to talk about the landing page. Okay. Like I said, today was going to be a very educational video. No hype, none of that today. Today we're just going to talk pure technology, pure facts, pure data, and pure possibilities. So let's jump right into it. Let's start right here. So what do we have? We have social features, blockchain and finance, trending and advertisement, global network, and security. Now these are the five key elements that basically are going to run the social media. Okay. Social fi, blockchain, trending, global network, security. Now we start scrolling down, you're going to see a lot of movement. A lot of this stuff is better to see on a PC because first you build all the tech in a PC and then you move it into a mobile service, right? So anyways, as you start going through it, you're going to see a lot of stuff. Okay. Some of the stuff might make sense. Some stuff might not make sense. It just depends on your experience with any of this stuff. Okay. So we're going to establish identity, polish rich media, discover signal, and build community. As we go through, there's certain things that I want to talk to you about. So for example, these are going to be some of the features that the social media is going to have. So obviously social post is one, which will look something like this. You'll have this Alex Chain guy drop a post, maybe an image. The next thing you're going to look at is articles. You're going to be able to post articles. The next thing is you're going to have shorts. Okay. And the reason why we're integrating shorts is because the younger generation, they just love shorts. They love shorts. They can sit there and scroll through cat videos all day long, right? So having shorts is very important, but we're also going to have full-length videos. Full-length videos. Do you understand? So we're going to do the best of both worlds. Very similar to what YouTube's doing. The only difference is we're not going to be all strict like YouTube. You know how many red flags I get on these live streams? Every time I do a live stream, man, they're always flagging my live stream. Oh, you said this. You're copying this random guy. You get zero commission. You're sharing your commission. Now I'm like, whatever, man. I don't even care for the monetization. I just use it because it's a way of communication. Okay. So, yeah. So shorts, very important. The next thing is, you guys love this from Twitter. It's threads. Okay. Basically a thread. You drop your first thread and the second and the third, and you can have multiple threads. Threads are very important. The next one is polls. We're going to have polls, a lot like what Twitter does. Polls where you can talk about what should be our next major feature focus for Q3, enhanced analysis, mobile app design, more API, whatever you want to do the poll about. Or maybe you just want to do a poll. Do you like Trump or do you hate Trump? That's up to you, right? Whatever you want to do. We don't care. We don't care. It's freedom of speech. You can talk about whatever you want. It's your social media. And that's how we're going to build it. The next thing is forums. Now, forums is something that you use on Reddit, right? People love forums. You drop a forum, you can do a upvote or a downvote, and then you can start getting people interacting with this forum, and everybody's talking amongst each other in this forum, right? So these are some features that are going to play a big role in our social media. So again, we got forums, polls, and threads, videos, articles, and social posts. Okay. Now let's go back down a little bit more and just personal accounts, community, diversity, content types, signal, and discovery. Now, this is one of those things that are really going to get exciting because in our social media, let's remember, we're a crypto social media, right? A crypto social media. So not only are we doing what everybody else is doing, now we're adding that little grain of salt of excitement, cryptocurrency, where you're going to have chart analysis, technical analysis, coins paying to list on our platform, money coming in not just from social media, but also cryptocurrency for cryptocurrency services. Social media, cryptocurrency, and in between social media and cryptocurrency, you're going to have artificial intelligence, right? All these things are going to play a big factor at how become the next big social media in the world. Now, do we believe that it's going to happen right away? Of course not. Of course not. It's going to take time, right? But as we get our first 10,000 users, our first 100,000 users, our first million users, our first 10 million users, our first 100 million, and then our first billion users going for that big chunk of the market, the big chunk of the market from the social media side and a big chunk of the market from the crypto side. We are the best of both worlds. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff. But anyways, let me show you the inside of the social media. Give me a second. Let me log in real quick. And then we're going to pop it right back up. Now, I would share the screen, but this is my personal account on Memelinked. So this thing is very valuable to me. Okay. So let me jump back in. Okay. So right here, you're looking at the PC version of what it's looking like. Well, obviously, this is not a finished product. Like I said, we have somewhere between 30 and 40 more updates. 30 and 40 more updates for the social media. But you're going to start to see cool things. Like, for example, right here at the top, all of a sudden you see a button that says forums, sources, blogs, videos. If you come down here, you'll see following, trending, memes, crypto, NFTs, live streams. If you look at the sidebars, you're going to see a lot of cool stuff like advertisement, leadership, community, sources. It's just a lot of cool stuff, different blockchains, ETH, Solana, BSC, all these things, right? But you're going to have multiple things going on with the social media. One, you're going to have the world feed where it's going to be based on your algorithm, whatever you like. Oh yeah, this picture. The last 90 days of Bitcoin, the last 90 days of Memelinked. So if people would have listened to me when I told them, look, it's time to get out of Bitcoin. It's time to get out of Ethereum. It's time to get out of Solana. Move your money to microcaps. Move your money to Memelinked. I know I'm the developer. I know this. And it's weird that I tell you to do these things as a content creator, but I'm telling you because I know the market. Those that paid attention, those that did the move are not down like some of the people that didn't make the move. Okay. So like I said, the algorithm's going to be based on whatever you like, whatever you do. And then on top of that, you're going to be able to change the algorithm. Let's say you're a big Solana guy. You don't care for raccoons. You want to know about Solana coins, Solana feed, Solana information. You are going to control your own algorithm. Okay. Do you want it to just automatically think what it knows about you, or do you want to control the categories of algorithms that you want it to focus on? See what I'm saying? So we're playing the both sides of the quadrant here. On one side is your natural algorithm based on your political views, your animal views, your car views, money views, whatever. Or you can choose a specific category to make the algorithm. Now, if we jump to a mobile version, it looks like this, and your feed just kind of flows like it would on a lot of these social medias. Obviously, you're going to be able to change it to videos, and on videos, you'll be able to just scroll through shorts, through longer videos, whatever you want to do, right? Those are things that you'll be able to do. On the side, we'll have, many chats, many live streams, services, voice chat communities, smaller communities. I mean, this thing in the next 60 to 90 days, you're not even gonna recognize Memelinked. It's gonna blow your mind because look, we have been building a lot of these updates on a separate website, on a separate landing page. And we have done so many updates, right? You're going to start to see them come through. And when you start to see them come through, you're going to be like, oh, wow, this is starting to look more serious. This is starting to look more serious. This is starting to look more serious. And as you get more involved, you're going to see why putting your money in Memelinked makes sense. You're going to see why. And that's something that right now in cryptocurrency, nobody's really doing. Not even in the real world. I mean, what could you put your money into right now that you feel like it has potential to change your life? Like what? I look at the stock market and I look at upcoming technology. Most technology right now has to do with AI or some sort of data center or something like that. But there's so much of it, even in the stock market. Okay. Flying cars, electric cars, all this stuff. But the reality is NVIDIA already beat you to it. Tesla already beat you to it. Google already beat you to it. They're just making it, seem like it's something else, right? So the stock market investments long term, it's not as bright as it should be. Cryptocurrency, millions of coins launching constantly, millions. With no real purpose, just a monkey, a cat, a dog, a spider, you name it, no purpose, a chihuahua. And the old utility coins like Cardano and XRP and Bitcoin, like they have nothing coming for them other than like hopefully mass adoption. So you have all these things going on and you don't know what to put your money into. And then here comes Memelinked with an actual 10-year plan. We have a 10-year plan. We have a 10-year strategy. Now, some of you guys might only stay here for the next 12 months. Some of you guys might stay here for a week, but some of you guys will stay here for the next 5-10 years. And you guys are going to be the guys that are going to be laughing at the world like, man, I was the first investor of Facebook. I was the first investor of Tesla. I was the first investor of NVIDIA, Apple, Amazon. Some of you guys might think I'm crazy, and that's okay. People used to think Elon was crazy. They don't think he's that crazy no more. In fact, they sit around Twitter all day trying to catch his attention, all day, tagging Elon. Please like my meme. Please like my coin. Please like me. If you like my post, I made it big in this world. You have an opportunity to be at the bottom of everything. You have an opportunity to be at the bottom of life-changing wealth, generational wealth. Some of you guys will see the light. Some of you guys will just let it pass by your hands, let it slip by like everything in life. How you let all these great opportunities just slip by because you lack vision. And people that lack vision, they tend to stay poor. People that understand vision tend to pay their houses early, their mortgages, their cars early, their college debt early, their children's college. They end up sending their children to law school. They end up sending their kids to medical school. They end up buying a farm with 20 acres. They end up having a collection of horses, a collection of cars. They travel the world. Vision. And people that lack vision, they sit around Twitter asking what's the ticker? What's the next big thing? every day, the same thing every day. They never progress, they never grow. With Memelinked, you have an opportunity to grow with us. And I hope that you guys see the vision. I hope that you guys see it, and I'll keep you guys updated. More stuff to come. But make sure that you master the normie tool. Make sure that you're sending people the 10-year plan website first. Just say, take a look at this. This could change your life. Just take a look at it. Just go through the 10 pages, watch the video, read about the guy behind it. Just check it out. And then after they tell you, how do I buy it? That's when you pull up the normie tool link. You send them the normie tool link and said, okay, I'm going to walk you through it. Let's have a Zoom meeting, or let's do a face call, share your screen. I'll walk you through it. And then third, they constantly continue to accumulate because now they see the vision long term. It's no longer about turning $1,000 to 5,000. It's about turning $1,000 to 5 million, $1,000 to 3 million, $1,000 to 10 million. Because you can do that with Memelinked. You can do that because the project is so early, it's so young, it's so little compared to Facebook, compared to Nvidia, compared to Tesla, compared to Apple, compared to all these major corporations, Amazon. We're insignificant compared to all these corporations. But you give me 5 years, 10 years, I'm going to be on that billionaire list next to some of your favorite people today. Anyways, guys, this was Pablo Crow. Thanks for watching. I know I took a whole hour from you, and I hope I taught you a lot about the vision of MK. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace out.